We had some pretty nice trades from the daily market breakdown videos. Now let's get right into this week's Forex Forecast. All right, starting the forecast off with the DXY here. So you can clearly see we reacted off of this supply again, but we did end up breaking through this supply area. So I'm going to remove it off of my chart, and honestly, that's a pretty bullish sign. No, we have not removed this high yet, but honestly, I think it is, all signs are pointing to the upside that we will be in fact removing that high and creating a pretty nice weekly trend to the upside. You can clearly see this daily trend was respected. We did get some downward pressure here on the dollar, but ultimately this daily trend pretty much came into effect and continued to rise. It's more visible here on the 4-hour chart where we did start to break some demand, but kind of just pierced below, but ultimately continued to go up. Now, although I do believe the dollar will go up, it doesn't mean we will not see some downward pressure. I think it is possible we do retrace down to the 105.39 area, potentially react off of this little rally base, rally demand zone. You can see pretty nice move to the upside off of this demand. So I think looking for longs on the DXY, or sorry, just longs in the US dollar in general, on all the pairs is going to be the right thing to do in my opinion, just based on this trend. And remember, if we do get that pullback, it's not a big deal because the trend will still, be up. Even like I said down here, supply zone started to get respected. We started to break the lows, but ultimately the daily trend ended up, playing out and holding. So that's why trends are extremely important. So at the end of the day, I am bullish here on the dollar. I just think we could see some downward pressure, but ultimately I think all signs are pointing to the upside. And I think, in the long run, I think in the next couple months, we could push all the way back up to like the 110 area on the DXY. All right, now on to the Euro US dollar. So you guys know we had this significant daily demand zone that was hit once, twice, 3, 4 times. So this is a very, very significant demand zone in my opinion. And we broke the demand zone. We also broke the low here, which finally gave us that pretty nice daily downtrend here on the Euro US dollar. With that being said, we will have supply here soon. We still need to see another candle close in my opinion to get that stay away candle. But at the end of the day, we do have a downtrend now in the euro. Things are definitely looking weak. I think looking for shorts on the euro is going to be perfectly fine, especially now that we have a daily downtrend. So looking at the 4-hour chart, obviously the inverse of the DXY, I think it is possible we do retrace back up to the 1.07 area, potentially get a move off of that 4-hour supply zone. So this could be used for day trading as well. So if price does push back up to here, you don't feel comfortable with, just a short with a stop loss above the zone, that's fine. You could be on a lower time frame looking for that confirmation trade on a day trading time frame. It is also possible we break above here, push up to this supply, which is kind of the origin of this entire move, and react off of that zone. But that'll probably be for next week's forecast if we do in fact start to push up. But at the end of the day, 4-hour downtrends, 1-hour downtrends, we could just continue to look for shorts here on the Euro US dollar. Now, if we don't reach all the way to that daily, that 4-hour supply, we do have a little 1-hour supply at 1.06 on the 1-hour chart, and I think it's decent. I think we could react off that supply. It's not amazing, but I actually would feel more comfortable going down to like a 1-minute or a 5-minute chart and looking for shorts off of that rather than just trading the entire zone, because I think trading the entire zone will work better on that 4-hour supply zone that I was pointing out earlier on the euro. And if we create a daily supply over here, and whether it's up here or down here, we'll have to see throughout the week, but we could be retracing all the way back up to that daily supply as well if we get it. So to kind of summarize here in the euro, things are looking weak. I think looking for shorts on all time frames, because look, we have a daily trend now, so it means looking for shorts on a 1-hour chart, 4-hour chart are fine, and all day trading time frames as well. All signs are pointing to the downside in my opinion here on the Euro US dollar. All right, on to the forecast for XAUUSD gold. And if you guys don't mind, hit that like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Remember, all ad revenue from these weekly Forex Forecast videos is donated to my local hospice charity. So would be appreciated. Every like helps. Let's get more money donated to charity here. So anyways, onto the weekly chart here, we have a weekly demand at 22.33. It is a decent zone. I'm actually going to tighten it up just a little bit there. Nice rally base rally here. So I just want to say it is possible we do see, especially we've seen this big wick here, it is possible we do see some downward pressure in gold, but I think we will hesitate to break below the 21.46 area. So I think this is a great pullback entry to get in long on the weekly chart. So we're going to have to go down to the lower time frames and really see what is taking place. And if you look, this daily demand zone all the way down at 21.95, I know it's a long ways down, guys, I get it. It is inside of that weekly zone, and I think it is definitely decent. So we could see a move off of that daily zone. And right now on the 4-hour chart, you can see beautiful trends to the upside. All signs are really pointing to the upside, in my opinion. So we are into 4-hour demand right now. We could be looking for day trading longs off of this demand zone. I think it's fine. Although since we're so extended, I think we could break it, but I don't like to just say, oh, because we're going up, we're due for a pullback. We're saying we're due for a pullback it usually is what failing traders say. So we kind of have to go with what we got, and we are into a demand zone here. So as long as this 4-hour demand zone is holding, you could be looking for confirmation day trades on a 5-minute or a 15-minute chart. And that's pretty much it. If we do break below this zone, in my opinion, we could kind of hesitate around 22.96, but ultimately I think we could, if we do break the zone and break the low here, I think that would be a sign that we could continue to trade, that we could continue to fall down to the 22.19 area at this weekly area of demand. Now, if you are bearish, if you think for sure, hey, I think gold is going to retrace down to the 22.19 area, I think we are too overextended, I think we are due for a pullback, I get it. All I would really be doing at that point is this. So if we're on the 1-hour chart, if we do retrace back up to here, this would be your short entry at 24.11. It is very, very risky. I cannot stress that enough. Why is it risky? Well, because we have a weekly trend and a daily trend. So this is all counter trend. So it might look, significant on this time frame, but it's always important to use the higher time frames as well. So your short entry would be up here. Confirmation on lower time frames would be better as well. And if not, let's say we get that next leg down. If we have new supply here, we could look for shorts off of that supply as well, and just be day trading down to that weekly demand at the 22.96 area that I was talking about, down at that weekly demand zone. So all signs are really pointing to the upside still on the weekly chart, and the daily chart, it just, since we've lost momentum here on the 1-hour chart, it could be evidence to suggest we could be going lower. But ultimately, with these beautiful trends to the upside, I'm really hoping we can get a pullback down to the weekly demand zone and then get an even better buying opportunity here on gold. All right, on to the USDJPY. So we have a daily chart here at 151.85. I just wanted to point out this daily demand zone. It is weird. I don't like drawing a zone like that, but it is what it is. It is the basing for that strong move away. So I think it is possible we do get that pullback down to this daily zone. I think it's certainly possible, in my opinion. This is the nearest area of demand, at least on the daily chart, but I also feel the need to point out this weekly zone. So this weekly zone is kind of if you look back here, we had supply from all the way back in November 2023 pretty much, and we reacted off of it. It was also the high, so we did break that high with this weekly demand zone at 149.05. So this is kind of the whole entire origin of that move to the upside. So I just want to point out that it is possible we do pull all the way back down to there, which would provide a pretty nice dip buying opportunity in the USDJPY. Obviously, you want to look for lower time frame trades instead of taking a whole weekly zone, unless some of you guys are, those position traders out there. But I do think it is possible we do that. As far as the 4-hour and the 1-hour chart goes, if you look at the 4-hour chart, I mean, it's pretty bad right now. Yes, the trends are to the upside. That's pretty much what we have to go with. But look at this. Look at this sideways action. It is pretty bad. We either want to wait for a pullback down to 151.88, down to that 4-hour zone where we could get a move off of that zone, or if we get another leg up here, we will have new demand right there, and we could be looking for longs off of that zone right there, and that'll be on my charts for all of the members. So really two options: waiting for this to play out, or waiting for the demand zone pullback down to the 151 area. And of course, if you are a day trader, which I know a lot of you are, you could just be trading this this 4-hour trend to the upside, which means you could be on a 15-minute, a 5-minute chart as well. One of those time frames, just looking for demand zones, whoever you like to trade, as long as this trend line is holding, in my opinion. So really not much else to say other than that. If you guys have any questions on any of this analysis, do not hesitate to ask. Let me know your thoughts here on the USDJPY. All right, on to the GBPUSD, the British pound. So we did break this significant demand zone here. We had the demand back here, 1, 2, 3, 4 reactions off of it. Very similar to the daily chart on the euro. We could not quite hit this daily supply, but that's fine. But this demand has now been removed. So that's a pretty significant sign that we will see some continued downward pressure here on the pound. If you look at a weekly chart, which we haven't really been looking at, there's really not much here to hold price up. I think we could get a massive pullback down to the 1.16 area. I know that's a long move away. I just kind of wanted to show you guys the bigger picture, which I think is pretty important in my opinion. Now on the 1 hour chart, there is a 1 hour supply here. I do like the supply all the way up here better because it removed this demand zone from back here, and this is the demand zone we caught from the daily market breakdown video from last week or a couple weeks ago. If you guys want access to those daily market breakdown videos, video lessons, Sunday Zoom sessions, and much more, check out the Diamond membership. We'll be happy to see all traders join the team. We have lifetime access available as well. So this 1 hour supply, that's the nearest at 1.25. It's not great. It's pretty small, which I don't like, but what I do like about it is that it is inside of this 4 hour supply. So this is a significant 4 hour supply in my opinion at 1.25. If we do get a retracement back up to there, I think we could react off of that supply zone. Could also be used for day trading time frame trades as well. And of course, since we have a 4 hour downtrend, I think looking for shorts is going to be fine on all time frames in my opinion, especially on the day trading time frames. And just like the other pairs, if we do break all the way up to here, we have supply above. It's decent. We could see a move off of that, but to kind of summarize here, guys, it's 4 hour trends, 1 hour trends. We just broke a daily demand zone as well, so really all signs are pointing to the downside here on the British pound. And like I said, even if we do get some retracements, we're just only going to be retracing back into supply zones. So I wouldn't really worry about it. If we do get a retracement to the upside, I wouldn't really be, oh my God, we're so bullish on the pound here. We will be retracing back into some supply zones. So again, it's all signs are pointing to the downside here on the GBPUSD. All right, on to the USDCAD. Really, all signs are pointing up here. Very, very bullish signs here. We're coming close to this supply zone at 1.38. I'm not super worried about it because we've already reacted off it. It is tested. It doesn't mean we'll just blast right through the zone. I think we will hesitate here. So if you are bullish, 1.38 could kind of be your profit target area, or maybe at least you're bumping your stop loss up a little bit tighter or something like that. But really all signs are pointing to the upside here on the USDCAD. We pretty much want to stick to only day trading longs at this point because the only zone I'm seeing really as far as my chain analysis goes is all the way down at 1.358. So it's not looking fantastic for trading, if I'm being honest with you guys. If we can get another leg up, maybe breaking some supply, we'll have new zones here, and I'll have that on my charts for the members as well, and we could look for longs down there in my opinion as well. But again, for the USD CAD, we're going to have to pretty much stick to day trading time frames at this point due to the nature of these moves. I've been telling the members, guys, when we get these massive moves up like this, we don't really typically get a lot of zones, at least on the 1 hour chart and above. So we kind of, it's more of a day trading market in my opinion to day trade with that momentum. So again, all signs are really pointing to the upside here. Profit margin all the way up to like the 1.384 area and even higher in my opinion. We're pretty much, as swing traders, we're pretty much just waiting for new 4 hour and 1 hour zones to be formed along the way up. But in the meantime, day trading longs are going to be completely fine. When I say day trading, guys, I'm talking about 15-minute charts, 5-minute charts, and sometimes the 1-minute chart. I'd pretty much stay away from the 1 minute and focus solely on the 15-minute and the 5-minute as long as these trends in the 4 hour and the 1 hour chart are holding. All right, looking at the AUDUSD, the Aussie US dollar here. So we have not broken this low here on the daily chart, and why I'm focusing on that is because that would give us a downward trend line here and a downward trend. Right now, we are pretty much just going sideways. Now, since the DXY trend is up and like the euro and the pound, or at least the euro chart, is in a daily downtrend, I think it's kind of foreshadowing what was going to happen here on the Aussie US dollar. I think we will break the low here. That's just my educated guess, I guess you could say. I don't like to guess like that, but based on the DXY trend and the euro downtrend, I call me crazy, but I think we will break the low here, giving us that daily downtrend on the Aussie. So that is what I'm expecting here. So I think looking for shorts is going to be fine. I noticed something interesting here on the 4 hour chart. We are into this 4 hour demand zone. It's kind of a trap setup here as well. If you look at this as kind of a support area, if you will, right there, this is kind of a support resistance trap. I think, I don't believe the zone is going to hold all the way back up to there. It's possible, anything is possible, but it's just kind of a random zone, kind of in the middle of nowhere. But I do think we will at least struggle to get up to here. I think it's possible we do react off this demand zone, maybe to push back up to like the 0.651 area, and then we will break it. So as far as shorts go, I'm not really seeing anything till up all the way up at that zone, which I don't think we're going to get there. So we really just want to wait for, you know, a next leg down. Hopefully we break the low in the daily chart, giving us a supply zone there that we can potentially look to get in short at here on the Aussie. So we could, in theory, be day trading this one at this point. I think it's fine, and the reason I'm saying that is because we have a pretty nice 1 hour downtrend. It's pretty clear in my opinion. We do have a 1 hour supply above at 0.648. I think it's decent. I think we could get a move off the supply. The issue I'm seeing is that it'll be above the trend line, so that's why looking for that extra confirmation on a day trading time frame maybe would be a better option in my opinion. It is a pretty nice leg down, so I think we definitely could see a move off of that supply zone. In the meantime, since we have the downward trend line, as long as this trend line is holding, we could be looking for shorts on day trading timeframes, like a 5-minute or a 1-minute chart. If we do break above it here and price is kind of floating around here, at that point, I would not be day trading short. I would be waiting for the supply to be hit, and then I would look for shorts. So hopefully, you know, that's kind of making sense. It might be a little bit confusing. Like I said earlier, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask. And again, for our swing traders, we kind of want to wait for that daily trend to drop. To the daily trend to begin by breaking the low there. And then at that point, like I said, on the 4-hour chart, if we get some sort of 4-hour supply zone there, we can then look for shorts, just to kind of summarize here on the Aussie. All right, on to the USD Swiss. So some pretty significant last couple weeks here in the USD Swiss. We based up, broke the trend line, and we broke supply here on the weekly chart. So, you know, a big retracement all the way down to the 0.89 area could be fantastic for us swing traders. So just wanted to point out the higher time frame chart. Things are definitely looking pretty bullish in my opinion. If we look at the daily chart, you know, pretty nice daily uptrend. Poor quality daily demand zone holding. This is a great example of a bad demand zone working out pretty good. Compare that to this zone. This zone is 10 times better than this pretty crappy zone. So by the end of the day, the trends are strong here, looking very, very strong. 4-hour trend to the upside, 1-hour trend. So it's longs all the way on all time frames. If we do get a retracement down to this zone at 0.90, we could look for longs off of that zone. We got to be careful because it'll be below the trend line at that point, most likely. So confirmation would be a little bit better in my opinion. And if we break all the way down, we break all these lows here, there is that little zone right here, rally base rally at 0.89. I've been pointing this one out the last couple weeks. I think it's decent as well. So, you know, even if we start to retrace to the downside, we have a couple good zones we could be looking for longs off of here on the USD Swiss. And in the meantime, day trading longs are fine due to the 4-hour and the 1-hour trend. So all signs point to the upside here on the USD Swiss. No need to confuse you guys. It's longs all the way. And even if we get, you know, those really deep pullbacks, like I said, we have a weekly demand zone down there. So I would not be fearing getting in long here on the USD Swiss. Last but not least, we are on to crude oil. We have contacted that weekly supply zone. If you go back and watch last week's forecast, I was talking about this. How we could, I don't think we're going to, you know, go all the way down here and this is the end of the rally in oil. I definitely do not believe that, but I was saying I think we could hesitate around here, and it's pretty evident we are with this 50% red candle here on the weekly chart. Now, it's not really any cause of concern. We still have daily momentum up. The nearest daily supply is at 89.03, so I think we could still push up to that supply. And I think at that point we can get a significant move down, but ultimately I think we will continue to go up. So I think there is still profit margin up to 89 in my opinion. The issue here is on the 1-hour chart, it's looking pretty weak. I mean, we did have fresh demand here. We got a nice move off of that zone, but you know, it's not looking great. I don't really want to trade at this tested area, especially since it's been very, very tested. So if you want to trade in this area, it's got to be confirmation on lower time frames at 85.54 in my opinion. I think it's the safest bet. Or if we continue to break the high, we'll have trends again, and we could be looking for it day trading longs again. If we do get a deep pullback down to 83.64, I think it's a good area. We could look for longs down at that 4-hour zone still, kind of stop everyone out here that's trading at these lows. And if we don't, we push back up, the trend will probably continue at this point. I would say that we still have a 4-hour trend. Overall, the 4-hour trend is up, but this price action is pretty sideways in my opinion, so it's not looking fantastic. But at the end of the day, you know, momentum is up. Yes, we are reacting off that kind of that weekly supply zone, but I think we could still see a lot of upward pressure here on oil. It's It's all about if we can get that pullback down to the 83 area, or if we can get in long right now to continue to trade with this 4-hour and the 1-hour uptrend. But look at the profit margin up to the daily supply, which is pretty significant at about 89.03. So I think looking for day trading longs is going to be the best bet here, until we can get some good 4-hour and 1-hour zones, or unless we pull back down to the 83.64 area. If you guys want to watch the full length forecast with all the other markets, make sure to subscribe to the channel membership to get access.